7 News Detroit starts with breaking news.
Those alleged terror plot arrests right in our own backyard, topping our news tonight at 6. Thank you for joining us for 7 News Detroit. I'm Carolyn Clifford. Now, we have been following this story since it broke this morning as multiple raids played out across Metro Detroit and brought you updates throughout the day. Our crews were on the scene for 3 raids at homes on Horger and Middle Point Streets in Dearborn and at a U-Haul facility in Inkster. ABC News reports at least 2 people are under arrest. 3 others are being questioned. We are told their ages are all between 16 and 20. We have Team 7 coverage of this developing story. 7 investigator Heather Catallo has insight from a retired FBI agent about what comes next in this investigation. But we begin tonight with 7 News Detroit reporter Darren Cunningham. And Darren, so many neighbors are on edge tonight, and this comes as families are out for Halloween. So what are you hearing tonight?
Yes, Carolyn. Well, the scene is all clear now here on Horger Street, but this is certainly not the start to Halloween that residents here in Dearborn expected. 2 raids about 2 miles apart in Dearborn, rocking neighbors out of their sleep. One on Horger Street.
Early this morning around 5 a.m., we heard loud bangs, and we seen the FBI agents telling our neighbors to come out of the house.
The other raid on Middle Point.
My husband jumped out of bed because he heard a bang sound, and then all of a sudden he heard bang, 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 so he thought it was shotgun, a gun went off. And then so he looked out the window and he saw a bunch of cop lights.
We just seen them being told, get out of the house, hands behind your back, handcuffs, and then just being under an investigation.
An investigation into an alleged terror plot potentially planned for Halloween weekend, according to FBI Director Kash Patel, who posted about it on X. According to ABC News, its sources report that firearms training were a part of the suspect's routine and that they mentioned Pumpkin Day, a phrase they believe references Halloween. Lareep Irfin says it's a shocking revelation as so many kids prepare to celebrate the holiday by trick-or-treating.
A little concerning, if something, God forbid, were to happen. But, as far as the FBI doing their part, I feel a little bit better now.
Well, it's not safe for the kids to be out if it's going to be stuff like that going on. We're just trying to have a positive, good holiday.
Be careful. We got to stay prayed up.
The suspects range in age from 16 to 20, according to ABC News and its sources, who also report that an undercover operative monitored online communications from a number of suspects in a group chat, prompting the FBI to take action.
We've never had a problem like that in this neighborhood. So,
had you met or interacted with the folks at the house there?
Oh, yeah. So we're really good neighbors with them. Nothing of that nature, where we could speculate hey, this person's kind of off. But we just hope and pray that everything works out for them.
Irfin says 4 or 5 brothers, teenagers, and young adults live at the home with their parents. A woman left the house not long before the FBI cleared the scene around 2:30. That's when I knocked on the door to see what anyone at the house could share about the investigation, but no one came to the door. Not long after, men who identified themselves as the family's attorneys arrived and then left, saying they wouldn't be providing comment about any allegations at this time. Inkster's police chief confirms the FBI executed a search warrant at a storage facility. U-Haul confirms it was this location on Michigan Avenue, although it's unclear what investigators recovered, if anything. Now, the remaining questions that it seems only the FBI can answer at this point include exactly how this alleged attack was supposed to go down and where. Live in Dearborn, Darren Cunningham, 7 News Detroit.
I know we're going to get more information, Darren, but still hard to believe that these suspects were just between 16 and 20 years old. Thank you so much for your live report. Now, as this alleged terror plot continues to unfold, there are still a lot of questions about this case. 7 investigator Heather Catallo joining us right now with more insight. So shocking, Heather.
So shocking, and so many questions still. Usually after arrests in a case like this, the suspects would have appeared in federal court to face a magistrate. That did not happen today, although I am being told it should happen over the weekend. A real-life Halloween scare. Federal agents raiding locations across Metro Detroit, allegedly to disrupt a terror plot. Sources telling ABC News the FBI had to take action after undercover operatives monitoring an online chat group saw suspects talking about Pumpkin Day, which they believed meant Halloween. Law enforcement sources told ABC News the alleged plot involved firearms and could be tied to a foreign terrorist organization.
It's always been one of the Bureau's things that kept them awake at night, right, is what don't we know? Who's here operating to try and hurt our national interests here?
Retired FBI agent Andy Bartnowak says the FBI is constantly working on terror threats, even when those cases are not immediately made public.
Those cases are intelligence driven. They're not going to go and make statements about them. I think in a lot of those cases that the public is not going to be aware of all the work that's being done. And there is a lot of work being done behind the scenes, not only here in Michigan, but all throughout the country.
As federal agents search locations in Dearborn and Inkster Friday morning, law enforcement officials say at least 2 people were arrested and 3 were taken in for questioning. According to sources, they range in age from 16 to 20 years old. And until those arrested are arraigned in federal court, details on the charges they're facing will be limited.
1, they don't want to taint the case. 2, there may be other leads out there that they just don't want to release things to the public because it might hamper the investigation. So I think it's pretty standard, certainly for the FBI, but pretty much for any law enforcement agency that's got a large investigation going on. You don't want to go out there and start giving out information that may hurt the investigation later on.
So once again, no official charges yet. None of the suspects appeared in federal district court today. We were told in court, though, today there's a chance those initial appearances will happen on Sunday. Of course, we will keep you posted, but I checked the docket just a few minutes ago, and there's still nothing on there, nothing that's been unsealed, at least at this point. So
I'm sure they're hunting around for as much information as they can. I mean,
and they took in a few people for questioning, so those people could potentially add to whatever they're going to eventually file as far as the criminal complaints go.
Absolutely. And this is in our backyard, but this is certainly a national story.
Yes, it is.
All right. Thank you so much, Heather.
You're welcome.
Now, Governor Gretchen Whitmer weighed in by social media, writing, quote, "This morning, I was briefed by Director Patel on the thwarted potential terrorist attack in our state. I am grateful for the swift action of the FBI and Michigan State Police protecting Michiganders." Now, this is a developing story, and our team is following it closely to bring you all of the latest updates on air and, of course, online at WXYZ.com.